Yes, people. Welcome to Saeed TV and welcome to the live fan call-in show. I hope everybody's good. I hope everybody's blessed. What you lot saying today? Everybody all good? Everybody all feeling like it's coming home? Is it coming home, people? Is the World Cup coming home? Listen, we beat Senegal, brushed them aside at ease. Um, and yeah, man, we have Viva France. You know what I mean? We have Izesti France. We have the team with Mbappe. You get me? Dembele. It's going to be a mad thing, people. What are you lot saying, though? What are you lot saying? This is the calling show, people. This is going to be regarding Jadon Sancho because I don't know if you know, but Jadon Sancho has been left out of the mini preseason break, if you would call it. He's been left out by Ten Hag to follow an individual training program. And yeah, man, listen, it is what it is. Um, he's going to prepare himself well, and he will go on an individual training program. That's what's according to United report. It says here Jadon Sancho has continuing his individual training program as part of a process to get back to the highest level. Man United are supporting him fully within him. Um, Also says the squad that's going to be there: De Gea, Heaton, Bishop, Dubravka, Lindelof, Wan-Bissaka, Williams, Mengi, Bernard, Guardado, Hardley, Bennett, Odili, Murray, Frankinson, Van der Beek, McTominay, Savage, Iqbal, Hansen, Gore, Mino, Elango, Martial, Shortire, Garnacho, Hugill, and McNeil. So there we have it, people. There we have it. This is the calling show. And basically, in this calling show, you have to have your camera on. Camera must be on. And then I'm going to send you the link. First come, first serve. We're going to be saying that the title of the video is, are you concerned for Jadon Sancho? Why has he not come on to this situation? Is it something that we should overthink? Let me know in the chat, people. Let me know. Come on. Your camera must be on. Your camera must be on. And yeah, man, first come, first serve, really. But there you go. Here's the link. I put the link in the chat. Get involved, preferably United fans, so we can hear the United point of view. But yeah, man, get involved, people. Get involved. Thoughts on the Raheem Sterling traveling home? Yeah, man, there's sick people out there, man. Sick people. Big up to everybody in here. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. But your camera must be on. If you're going to call in, your camera must be on. If your camera's not on, you simply just don't come in. It's as simple as that, people. So make sure you hit this link here. If you want to come in, have your say. Don't be shy. You know what I mean? It's all about opinions. Like I said, I have my opinion. You have your opinion. This is what the live fan calling show is all about, people. But yeah, man, get involved, people. What are you lot saying? Big up to Ilias in the chat. Big up to you, man. Big up to Claire. Hope you're well. Everybody smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Let's get Habby involved first. Let's get Habby. What are you telling me?
Yo.
What are you saying, man? What are you saying?
Not too much, man. Not too much. Sancho, man. Oh my days, bro. I'm not gonna be too optimistic. He's been disappointing. So this individual workout program or whatever that Ten Hag is giving him, I hope it helps. But I think we got guys like Garnacho who are ready to go. So right now, I'd probably even start Alanga ahead of him in certain situations.
Langa.
So.
Wow.
Yeah,
do you rate Rashford, by the way? Do you rate Rashford?
Oh yeah. I rate Rashford 100%. I think he's one of our best players, 100%.
Do you think are you surprised by the fact that he's not coming to the warm weather training camp? Because I feel like for me, there's two ways of looking at it. Yes, he's on an individual training program, but you want him to have a bit of game time. You want him to have develop that team cohesion. You know, when you're playing with a team and you're playing together, it's different, isn't it? It's a different feeling.
Yeah, that's true. I think he does maybe need to gel with his teammates a little more. I know Sancho at Dortmund, he liked the little 1-2s and stuff, and over here we're expecting him to go over the top and whatnot. But yeah, Sancho, Yeah, like I said, I'm not gonna be too optimistic about him. Like he's been dead, you know. He's really been dead. What was it? We spent 74 million quid on him, and he's been meaty, bro. He's been really meaty. Uh, every time we give him the ball, he just hits it back to Luke Shaw or Malacia, whoever the left back is, and we've been playing him in his preferred position at left mid, which I believe he's better on the right, but his stats says otherwise.
Mm,
So but I don't know why we don't just throw him out on the right and play someone like Garnacho and Rashford more on the left.
mm. You know, is this a big period for him now? You know, you're looking at maybe possibly getting Gakpo. You know, is this a big period for him to get back in his team?
Yes, I think it's huge because right now Sancho's future depends on who we bring in January. Because
Mm,
if we bring in a striker like a striker like Gakpo, maybe Sancho can gel with him. Maybe they could play these 1-2s, and maybe Sancho can get his GA up because I know that's all we talk about nowadays. And I know maybe
mm,
we're getting a little we're being a little too hard on him because we're looking at GA, but like he there's no production. We need production, and he's not
mm,
producing for us right now. So I feel like we really need to look at guys elsewhere.
mm. Big end to the season for Sancho, definitely, man, definitely, man. But big up to you, man. Thanks for coming on, Habby, man.
Yeah, big up, Said.
Big up, man. Big up, man. Big up to everybody who's locked in. Make sure, guys, pin chat. Go and hit that pin chat. Come and have your say about Sancho. Like I said, we do this once a week, maybe once a month, depending on the schedule. So make sure, guys, if you want to come have your say, hit the pin chat and yeah, man, come have your say, man. But what's everyone saying about Sancho in the comments, man? Um, Nani Nell says, go get Gakpo and Depay. You people tend to forget that we have Rashford and Ilanga. Yeah, again, like I said, Rashford has his moments, you know what I mean? Right now he's on form, but there'll be a time where he's, not on the best consistency as well. So it is what it is. Big up to Asma Pump 47 says, beat Ma 4-0 first half and he quit. Also lost 6-1. Is that the one that you told me about before? Or is this the new one again? Is this a new one? Right. But yeah, man, I think for me, just my opinion before we get more callers in the chat. I just think for me, with Jadon Sancho, it is telling though that the manager has put him on a a kind of one-to-one training. It looks like he wants to develop maybe the explosiveness. Maybe he wants him to be more agile. Maybe he wants him to be more kind of, I don't know, match sharp, match fit, because he only plays 60 minutes. Like most of the time, he's been hooked off after 60 minutes. So why is that happening? You know what I mean? Is it a fitness thing? Is it a case of him, his physicality, his athleticism? You know, these are the kind of things where the manager is going to look at and think, you know what, you have to develop this in your game. And like I said, technically, one of the best in the squad. Nobody can doubt that. Technically, one of the best in the squad. So for me, I think Sancho just needs to up his game, up his levels, and like I said, build that fitness up, man. Once you get that fitness up, once you get that movement, once you get that kind of that range within me, then you're gonna go from strength to strength. Steve H says, bring in Gakpo, Selilanga, and one of Martial, Sancho in the summer. Go for Dusan Vlahovic as we need height, power, and natural goal scorer. Damn, man. Sell one of Martial, Sancho, and Ilanga. For me, Ilanga, you're not going to get any really price. We have to loan him out. Martial, what's he worth now in this current market? What's he worth? So I can't lie to you, man. It's a difficult one, man. It's a difficult one. With Sancho, again, I think the manager will give him this season. I think most fans will be like, you know what, he needs to have a strong end to the season. So we're gonna see, man. We're gonna see. Um, Sancho has lost his mobility, had his explosiveness. Yep. It's worrying for me about Sancho that it's worrying for me about Sancho. Think that the rest of the season will be massive for him. Yep, absolutely. I think for me, win Martial, 30 million, 34 million. But then again, he needs to prove it to the end of the season. So yeah, if you want rival fans coming in, rival fans are welcome as well. If you want to speak about Sancho, come and speak. But I'm surprised there's not many people calling in today, man. What's going on today? People are just shy, man. What's going on? Come on, have your say, people. Pin chat today. Pin chat. Pin chat, people. Come and have your say. 20 to 30 million. Nobody wants Martial and his injury record. We got Lesso football in the building. Let's get Lesso football. What are you telling me, Lesso?
Yo, man.
Can't see you,
How you
Lesso.
doing?
Yeah,
How
there
you
you are.
doing?
There you are. There you are. There you are. What are you telling me?
Man, nothing much, man. I mean, we're still discussing the whole Sancho thing, isn't it?
Yeah, Sancho. What do you reckon? What do you reckon about Sancho?
I mean, Sancho, when I look back at his games, especially in the Bundesliga, like I don't know, like in terms of his weight and in terms of his flexibility and mobility, he used to be a lot more, I would say, thinner in frame
Yeah,
terms.
yeah, yeah.
So I feel like he sacrificed some of that you know what you might call it, some of that explosiveness and mobility that he used to have, and
Yep.
he bulked up a lot more. So when
Yep.
he got to Manchester United, I felt like a lot he gained a lot more weight, and then he lost all those other attributes that actually that actually helped him in the Bundesliga. And I feel like he should have focused more on building his leg muscle rather than his upper body. Personally for
Okay,
me,
okay.
because
That's interesting.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then so that you've got balance in terms of your leg muscles give you extreme balance. Even when somebody tries to knock you down, you can still stay on your feet, especially as a shorter player in terms of height. So I feel like he should have focused more on that instead of the upper body. And I think that training that he's sent to I think it's to get him back to in terms of his frame, in his body, his upper body frame. Whereas he has to reduce some of because it's really ruining his game when you think about it. Ten Hag wants a forward that's actually mobile and is a lot more flexible as well, in terms of getting away from their markers and everything like that. And at the moment, Sancho can't do that, and that's what Ten Hag wants from his forwards. Either if you're bulked up, but you have to be very, very explosive. But
Mm.
in terms of Sancho's height, it doesn't allow him to be like that. When you're short, you have to focus more on your leg muscles so that you're able to, you know what I'm saying, you're able to balance and at the same time still have your mobility in terms of flexibility with your upper body. So
Mm.
if
Good
he
point
does
you
that,
raised.
I think
No, it's a good point you raised. Do you think
yeah.
this is a big period now, or should he have went to the preseason, little mini preseason break, or is it the right decision for him to stay?
No, it's I think it's the right decision for him to stay. I think that's what they want to work on because I feel like Ten Hag wants to work more with the rest of the team on team chemistry and maybe I'd say match fitness. A lot of the players that have left behind, they lack that game time. So I think he wants to focus more on that in terms of taking them with him. In terms, he won't have time like to work on other aspects, and so this is why Sancho is left behind so that he can work on those aspects that he has. Because when you think about it, Sancho has got some game time, so it's not really a matter of fitness or some sort of that. It's more like him being able to adapt in terms of his body strength and in terms of the way he moves in terms of movements that Ten Hag would probably want him to adapt to. So I think it's more or less. I think it'll do well for him in his career, and he'll be. I feel like he'll be when he comes back, he'll be a lot more less weightless, I'd say, and he'll be able to move around more often. So yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's going to be a big period. Like I said, man,
Mm.
do you give him to the end of the season, or are you still hopeful next season he can still pull through with another preseason? Is this for you like a big season
Yeah.
next 6 months for him?
Mm. No, I think we should give him. Granted, we should give him another like season. To be honest, it's a new manager, so you never know because we might get rid of him and then he goes and shines somewhere else, and it's like, what are we doing? You understand? So we need to give him at least 3 years. I think is enough, especially for a player of his age. You know, you can't just get players like who are in their 22, 23s and you just get rid of them. You know, it's really not good when you think about it. You know, he hasn't reached his peak yet. So we can't rule him out and say, you know, he's done for. So he has the time. So it's just about him acclimatizing and, you know, adapting to the way Ten Hag wants him to play. And if he can do that, I think he'll have a great future at Manchester United. He is a quality player. People forget that, you know, and people will say because he was playing in the Bundesliga that, you know, that was a farmers league, as they like calling it. But the Bundesliga has really created some world-class players over the years. So, you know, you can't really say that because he was playing in the Bundesliga, he's not going to replicate his form in the Premier League. That's not the case. It's just the system that we just never had a system at Man United. We had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Before Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, we had Mourinho. I mean, you know, it's two different systems altogether. One was like you know, freestyle football, and the other, you know, was just defensive football. So a lot of these players will come to their own. You know, it's just that others will come into their own a lot more quicker than others. It's just natural. It's just how football is. But I expect Sancho to shine. He will shine, and he will shut up a lot of people. He's just a quality player, and I'd never want to get rid of him.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's Go Football TV. Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
All the time, man. Thanks.
Big up, man. Big up, guys. Big up to everybody who's locked in. Make sure you like the video, people. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you want to call in, people, hit the pin chat. Literally, it will take you here, and then you could come have your say about the situation with Sancho, him being left out of the Man United squad for the warm weather training camp. And like I said, you know, is this a time for him to reflect? Let me know, man. Let me know. So don't be shy, guys. Get in the pin chat. Come have your say. Let's see what everyone else is saying here. Dan Watson is saying Sancho's training with specialist coaches and has been told to do it by Ten Hag. There's no worries here. Listen, that's what it's about. That's what it's about, man. He has to do this one-to-one training. I still see there's a player that is capable of playing top football. Big up to Russ Mike says Garnacho ended Sancho's career. Wow. That's a bit harsh. I think that's a bit of a stretch because he still has time. I think Garnacho's still raw. He'll have up and down moments. But like I said, for the most part, I think Sancho, the destiny is in his hands, man. He needs to prove it to everyone that he can do it. You know what I mean? This is on him now. This is his moment to kind of put your head down and say, right, I'm going to take this position. I'm going to prove why I'm still a Man United player and why the club chased me for 2 years. You got to remember, this guy was chased for 2 years, people. Remember 2020, we couldn't buy him. And then obviously we missed out and whatnot. So for me, we've got to be patient. We've got to be patient in the next 6 months and just hope that, you know, we get this situation on it. I think there's something deeper. Yeah, obviously, you get me. His Instagram page right now is missing. Like I said, you know, there's no content on there. Like I said, head down, no social media, and you know what I mean. It's one of them, man. He has to. There's a lot of things that happen in his life, innit? And it's now going to be a kind of a character test as well. You know, how he recovers from it. Is he mentally strong to come back from setbacks? It's a lot of situations, man. It's a lot of situations, man. Ma destroyed you on FIFA. Not really. He beat me the first game. I beat him the second game. And then he beat me the third game. So, listen, it is what it is, man. I will get better on FIFA. And tomorrow, the FIFA streams will be back, man. So, watch out for the FIFA streams tomorrow. But yeah, man, big up to everybody who's locked in, man. If you guys want to call in, hit the call-in chat. If not, if there's no call-ins, we'll just do a Q&A. You know what I mean? It might go from the call-in show to the Q&A, man. So if you want to get your questions in while we wait for some callers. Garnacho will hopefully motivate Sancho to improve his lesson. The thing is, for me, though, it shouldn't take Garnacho, but then again, it does with certain players. Say like, sure, they're motivated by other people. Same way with maybe Sancho. Maybe he's going to be motivated by Garnacho. I still think for me, it has to come within you. Like something has to come within you to say, you know what, I'm good enough for this football club. You know? So if he can do that, then that's what we need. Suleiman, can you get your camera? Suleiman, do you mind getting your camera on? Yeah, he don't want to come in. You won by the biggest margin side. Real ones know. Exactly, man. Real ones know, man. Real ones know. You get me? Real ones know. But for me, with Sancho, I just think, you get me, have this one-to-one training camp, develop your game, develop what's good for you. You know what I mean? Don't try and imitate other games. And focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. You know, prove to yourself that you know you're good enough. Prove to yourself that you could do it. And I think for me, that's when the floodlights will open for you. So it just depends on Ten Hag as well. Gakpo coming in, it's going to be big pressure, man. Big pressure, especially if Rashford then is deployed up front or Rashford is on the left. Sancho then has to get back into this team. But for us, it's competition. Competition for places, man. You know what I mean? Nobody should be looking at the fact that we've got so many players at this football club. You know, we've got competition. And for me, at every football club, the way I grew up, we had so many strikers. We had 4 strikers. We had so many wingers. And no one complained. Everyone got on with it. And that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do, man. What about people around him? Yeah, exactly. This is the biggest thing for me, though. You have to have people around you that will be motivated as well with you. You know, to say that for you, your career, are they willing to look out for you in your career? Are they willing to say, you know what, we're here for you? You know what I mean? These are massive, you know, kind of situation and kind of things that he's got to deal with. Steve H asks, any news on Takeover? No news on Takeover, man. No news at all, man. It's got a bit flat. I think Liverpool have had some news today, though. I think Liverpool, they've had a couple of people who have been eyeing out Liverpool. For us, we've just got to wait. And that's the kind of the saddest situation about that one. We've just got to wait. We're hearing that they're going to sell up in spring, but hopefully to a owner who cares about this football club, man. Not to just any owner who wants to kind of look at it and thinks, you know what, let me just invest in this and then later on do what the Glazers did in it. Take out money out of the football club. Don't invest in it. Don't do this. Don't do that. And don't basically take their word. You know what I mean? And they kind of lie about it. So for us, it's going to be massive, man. It's going to be massive. But guys, if you want to call in people, make sure you guys call in right now. Pin chat. Don't be shy. Come and have your say. We are discussing Sancho. But yeah, man. If not, get your questions in. We're going to have a bit of a Q&A. So please do get your questions in. Any United questions, any topical questions if you want as well. Let me know in the chat, man. As a United fan, I like what's happening with Maguire. What do you mean? In terms of what? In terms of what? In terms of the fact that he's playing well for England. Is that what you're trying to say? Is that what you're trying to say? Big up from Jamaica. Let me know where you guys are watching from today. Let me know where you guys are watching from today. How big is Jesus being injured going to be on Arsenal? Massive, absolutely massive. For me, what striker did they get now? Is it a case of now they're in the race for Gakpo? This is the thing now. Arsenal, are they coming in for Gakpo now? This is the situation now we've got to discuss now, because they could go get Vlahovic. They could gamble on getting Tony, but the main thing for me is that they do not touch Gakpo, because that's a situation where I think for me they can go and get. We've got Vic in the building. Vic, have you got your camera on? Vic, have you got your camera on? Let me know if you got your camera on, Vic. All you got to do is just press your camera on, mate, to come on. Oracle, have you got your camera on? Let me know if you got your camera on, Oracle, and then we'll let you on. What about Anthony and his World Cup performance? Listen, trying to sort it with 2 minutes. With Anthony, he's not played since Everton game. I don't expect anything more. He's very, very rusty at the minute. Big up Zayn Miyasi saying, we're getting Maddison, Tony, and maybe Gakpo. Arsenal will be fine. In January, you're going to go and get Maddison, is probably worth about 60, 70 million. Ivan Tony's worth about 60, 70 million. That's 140 million. Then Gakpo, another 50 million. Have you got all of that money? Have you got nearly 200 odd million? Over 200 million? Is that what you've got? Is that what you've got? Make sure you guys like the video, people. Only 70 likes, man. 200 are watching. Come on, people. Make sure you guys are liking the video. Zane's got the money. Yo, Zane's loaded, man. Zane could buy Arsenal. I reckon Zane could buy Arsenal, me. I reckon Zane could easily buy Arsenal. Like, easily buy Arsenal. The next 20 years, the new owners will be crucial to our future. For the next 20 years, could be end or beginning of something even more special. Absolutely. No, Junior not going on Spanish tour. He's staying behind. He's staying behind to talk about it. If you could support any other team other than United, what team would it be? It would probably be Real Madrid, you know. I think it would be Real Madrid because of the fact the history. It kind of was my second best team growing up. You know, I mean, Zidane, you know, Beckham, you know, so many other people on there. So for me, I'd probably say it'd be Zidane. I'd be in Real Madrid. Sorry. Let's get Nippon in the building. Nippon, what are you telling me?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, man. I know you're a Chelsea fan. What do you want to say about Sancho?
Look, man, he just needs to get minutes, if I'm honest with you, to get his confidence back.
Do you think he's good enough to kind of stake a claim back at his team, or do you think he has to work hard in this little break now we've got and kind of keep going?
Yeah, I think he's a good player, but if he wants to start for you guys, he has to show his work in training. Because a resurgent Rashford, and then you have Anthony on the other end, who has been killing it until, I believe he got injured, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, until he got injured, he was killing it for you guys. So yeah, Sancho's gonna have to work hard because I don't see at this moment in time. I don't see him displacing either Anthony or Rashford.
Okay, fair enough. Big up to Nippon, man. Thanks for coming on, man.
Yeah, see you around.
Big up to Nippon for coming on. Make sure, guys, if you want to come in and have your say, hit the pin chat. Come and have your say. Vic and Oracle are waiting in the back, but they don't have their cameras on. Make sure, guys, to have your camera on if you want to come on. Smash a like, guys. Yeah, man, smash a like on the video. Maysage says, with the United team we don't need that much to compete in our cup games. We are 3 decent moves away from completion. Yep, that's a good point. Stephen H says, thoughts on Romero starting over Lisandro Martinez. I think for me, I think they like the fact that they have the balance there. Maybe that's the reason. Again, it's with Maguire, innit? Maguire and Cristiano Romero, you know, they might be the kind of situation where they got favourites. The manager has favourites. The manager has a particular way of playing, and he chooses Romero. I'm sure Romero's right-footed, and also Otamendi's right-footed. So maybe just like the fact that he prefers 2 right-footed centre-backs. That's just the way it is. So it is what it is, man. But for me, Lisandro Martinez, they know what the qualities are. Look at the last minute, tackle that he did, man. Unbelievable, man. And that's Lisandro Martinez. Big blow, HM. That's a big blow, man. Big blow. Absolute massive blow. Big up to Bondi, says, put a Halloween mask on. Yeah, man, you got to put your face on, man, because at the end of the day, people are just doing mad stuff online, man. So it's not worth me, you know what I mean, getting my channel demonetized just because some people don't want to put their camera on or you're going to say some mad shit. So, yep, there we have Vic. I think Vic is here now. Vic, are you there? You're on mute. Take your mute off, brother.
Go on, bro. Sorry, man. My lighting's not the best, brother. I hope that's all right.
It's all right, man. It's all right, man.
What's going on, man? Hey, listen, long-time fan, you know. I've been following you from day, my brother. It's good to see the glow up. You get me?
I appreciate, bro. It's all love, man.
Love, man. But yo, Jaden, I don't know what's happened to my man, you know. I from time he put that goal in at Liverpool, I don't know. It's like he peaked too early, man. He peaked too
You
early for
reckon?
this system. Like I for this season, I don't know. You know what? I mean, I suppose looking at it from the outside in, he's had he's had to deal with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and then moving to Ten Hag. You know, man's still young as well. I think people forget.
Yeah.
And you know, actually, I want him to succeed because I got a lot of brethrens that just give him that don't support United, that give him such a hard time. I will back him to
Yeah.
the end. Do you get me? So as a football
That
fan,
kind of makes you
seeing
more
my man,
motivated. Yeah, I get you. I get you.
exactly, bro. I got brethrens calling him Bumcho and all that stuff. I'm like, nah, man.
Wow,
Listen, he's gonna come through. You know, he's gonna come through. Like,
they're taking a mick,
and
man.
I've got faith in him. And you know what? Another thing as well, young brother from the ends, like, it's good to see he's representative of us, man. For instance,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
we were footballers, do you get what
yeah.
I'm saying? So
Facts.
that's why I'm like, you know what? In that, I want him to succeed. But listen, ETH is the man. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever he decides at this moment, I got no reason to disagree with him. If he decides he doesn't meet the grade, then sadly he's got to go. You know?
You know, are you surprised that he's staying rather than going and integrating with the team, playing? Like, okay, don't get me wrong. I think one-to-one training that he's doing now, if it's going to be physical, if it's going to be getting back into shape, I get it. But having that game time, adapting in the system, adapting what Ten Hag wants to do, would that have been more beneficial for
Do
you?
you know what it is? Yeah, I think with regards to game time, I think the people that are going on the squad, they've been short of game time. Sancho, up until his form dipped, he was starting. So I don't
Yeah,
think it's a case of match fitness or adapting to the system. I think it's a case, there's stuff going on that us man don't know. And you know what? Shout out, I suppose, him, and maybe even it's a change of culture at the club to keep the lid on this stuff. I assume a year or two ago, we would have had all kinds of leaks with regards to what's going on. Man could be going to the shop, it would be a scandal. You get me? Like
yeah,
something like that. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise, and maybe it's a sign of a better change at the club. But no, I think, you know what, if he's got to take a couple of weeks away from people just to sort his head out, maybe not being in the World Cup, I think, maybe it's affected him mentally. Maybe it's affected his confidence. Like all his boys are there, the gang's there, and he's part of
Everyone,
that crew.
Sancho, Foden, you know what I mean? All the guys who grew up with,
Right.
under 21 level, they're all going. Like everyone's going. So it's like one of the feelings, when everyone's out. When you was at home, and you can see all your boys are out and that, and then you kind of feel like, oh shit, man, I'm at home doing nothing. That's what he probably feels like right
Yeah,
now.
that's it. Marjay's didn't let mans out that day. You get me? Back in the day, that's
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
And you see all your boys are out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, in
No, but
terms
you
of,
know what? At the end of the day, listen,
yeah. Now go
go on, bro.
on.
Sorry, my bad.
No, you go, bro. You go.
No, I was just gonna say, at the end of the day, you know what? I hope some of this training is helping Sancho explore other avenues. Is he learning about the 10 role? Is he learning how to play a false 9 role? Maybe a different type of option up front. Is he adding more strings to his bow? I think when you look at Dutch coaches and Dutch players, they could play anywhere. Like they've got such a good technical knowledge of the game. You could stick them in any of the front 4 positions, in the 10, in the 9, on either of the wings. Do you know what I mean? And they're content in playing that role. So if Ten Hag's thinking behind it was, okay, let me send him out there, take a different school of thought in comparison to, the English game where he grew up and came from. Then he went to the German game. Dutch game is completely different. It's a different aspect of the game. And if he's sharpening them kind of skills to have that flexibility in the way that Rashford has, right? In the way that, in essence, you could say Martial has, even though he's not very good on the right. I mean, potentially Gakpo is someone that could play in all these places. You want that fluid interchange that maybe Sancho doesn't fit into at the moment because he's not had the opportunity to play them roles.
Just a last question.
What do you think?
I think for me, don't get me wrong. I think he needed this one-to-one training program. I think he needed to reassess and reevaluate his game and whatnot. I think ultimately it's a big 6 month for Sancho. You know what I mean? Whether people still think he's young or whatnot, you haven't got time at Man United. People demand success. You know what I mean? But we're hopefully going to be hitting new heights next season. It's either you step up or you get left behind. So I hope that this situation is going to be a big moment for him. He's had, 2 months off, you know what I mean? And then he comes back in for that Burnley game, and he's a new man. He's a rejuvenated. But just a kind of a last question. Do you think it's going to be a kind of a last big 6 month for him? You know what I mean? Especially if we get Gakpo coming in January as well.
To be honest with you, I reckon he's got next season. I mean, he only came last season. I think one of the previous callers said 3 years is an ample time to judge someone of his age and profile, right? I think, he came in last year, and it's been a turbulent time for him. This year, something's not gone right. I think he deserves that one more year. If by the end of next season he's not cutting it, then yeah, he's off. He has to go for his own sake and for our sake.
Absolutely. Big up Vic, man. I appreciate you calling in, man.
Love, my bro. Love. I'll make sure the scenery is a bit better next time, G.
No. It's all love, man. It's all love, man. Big up, man.
Love.
Big up, man. Big up to everybody who's locked in. Over 200 of you on a Sunday night. Big up to you guys. Make sure, guys, if you want to call in, don't be shy. Hit that pin chat. Hit the pin comment. It will take you here, and then you can have your say on the Sancho situation. Big up to Yusuf. Said it's been a while. Big up to Guz Red Devils. Is Sancho staying on to work his game, or just staying back for staying? No, he's staying because he's on an individual training program. That's what's happening. So, big up to Mr. Gunnar says, I think United learned that playing 80 million for a player which plays in the Bundesliga is a bad idea. It's a complete farmers league. I disagree, man. I disagree. You know what I mean? Like I said, the whole idea of a farmers league came from the French league. The German league is not a farmers league. If you're looking at the actual table in the Bundesliga right now, I get Bayern Munich have won it, but in the Bundesliga right now, Bayern Munich are top, but Freiburg are just behind. Then you've got RB Leipzig, then you've got Frankfurt. The technical quality in the Bundesliga is a good one. Not letting me join the stream. Is it? Is it actually working, the actual pinned comment? It must be working. Everyone's on it. It must be working. So try and do it again. Try and do it again. DP Cooper says, how can Sancho move to another country as a teen and thrive, but struggle in Manchester as a grown man? We're the issue. Okay. So you would say we haven't adapted for him? Is that what you're trying to say? Big up to, there will be a watch along, man. We do all the watch alongs, man. So big up the chat that's always in the watch alongs, man. Most players do individual training in addition to team training. There must be something outside football. Like I said, he's deleted all of his Instagram photos. He's gone to a black screen. That means it's deep, man. It means it's kind of like, something is not working. Something is not happening. And, something is kind of, it's affected his life, innit? Whether it's someone that's passed away, something that's personal to him. You know what I mean? He's got to go through it right now. So, we just wish that he comes on the better side. How was Box Park? I didn't go Box Park, I went to Road to Victory, which is a place in England game. It was bouncing, man. It was energy, man. And obviously, we've got France as well. France is going to be a tough game to keep out Kylian Mbappe. It's going to be absolutely tough. So we'll just have to see. Let me see what other people are saying. Sancho needs to invest in personal trainers and that. Yep, absolutely. Havertz, Timo Werner, Sancho, Ziyech, Christian Pulisic, all German leagues, just average. Gundogan, De Bruyne, Haaland also played in the German league. Listen, there's been top talent, man. There's top talent in that German league, man. I just think for me, outside, because the Premier League is so competitive, and you don't know who's going to win the league, you don't know who's going to finish second, third, fourth. Our outlook on all the other leagues then becomes a bit kind of like, meh, like, what is that? What is that league? So for me, German league, I just think our expectation as fans that we think that Sancho is going to be a high-flying winger, that should have changed. I don't know why we all thought that Sancho was going to be this next high-flying winger. He's not. He's a guy who's very technical, likes to play in pockets, likes to give and go, receive. He likes to, he's very, very technical, likes to, how would I describe his he likes to get into the space and move. Dribbling, you know, is kind of overall game isn't the game of Rashford. It's as simple as that. If you were to say Rashford and what's the opposite of Rashford, it's Sancho. So people's expectation that he's going to be quick, like he's not quick at all. That's one thing for me. You know that it shocked me, but it was kind of like, wow, like, you know, I had to just understand like Sancho is not quick. So these footballers with plenty of money attract bad influences around them. To ship them over Holland is sus. Sancho, number 8, nah, no way, man. Not even number 10, man. Not even number 10. I wouldn't even play him there, man. You know what I mean? I would never play him there. For me, Sancho needs to play the more cam role. Most wingers there are successful in the Premier League, have PMP, let's be real. The issue is that Premier League and especially top clubs, if you do not perform 100%, you will get found quickly. Hopefully, Sancho will turn around. It's a ruthless league, man. It's a ruthless league. A really, really ruthless league, man. You can't mess around. If you look at the Premier League, yeah, you can't really have 2 or 3 bad games. If you have 2 or 3 bad games, that's it, like. Or even 2 or 3, if you don't have 2 or 3 impactful games, bro, it's long. Generally, it's long for you, man. Like, seriously, it's long, man. So, yeah, man, I can't lie to you, man. You have to perform. You have to perform. Guys, if you want to call in, guys, make sure you call in. Use the pin chat. I will put the chat in again, just in case people just don't know what pin chat is, because sometimes people don't know what it is. But please smash a like on the video. And yeah, man, don't be shy, people. Don't be shy. Do get your opinion in. Call in and have your say, man. That's what it's all about, people. Come and have your say. There we go, people. I put the chat, the stream link in the chat. Come and have your say. Cut me the bias. Why you give up on place on easy? What do you mean? I think Sancho needs to play in a different attractive. I think Sancho needs to play in a different attractive position. I think pace-wise, he fits better at attacking midfield. But I don't know if he's got that, if he can press as well. This is the thing, though. Can he be durable like Bruno Fernandes? Bruno Fernandes is literally everywhere, pressing from the front. Can he do that? I know he can press. Don't get me wrong. I've seen him press. But can he press to that level? Let's get DFK.
Oh no! Wait, hold on. That occurred so quickly. Big up Saeed. I didn't even know I was jumping, and I was just like experimenting. But nevertheless, big yourself up, man.
Nah, come on, man. It's all love, man. It's all love, man. What are you telling me?
I'm just getting ready for bed because I got work tomorrow. But nevertheless, big up yourself, man. I really appreciate the content from London, man. Really appreciate it. So you keep doing your thing, man. And nevertheless, just to also say, the quality of the content is phenomenal. Nothing ever feels like it's a reoccurring thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like the show differs and it just adds something new to it. In addition, the guests that you bring as well, absolutely phenomenal. So I just want to say, big up yourself. I didn't know I was going to come on the stream, but nevertheless, I've got to send my love to you, brother, yeah?
Come on, man. Come on.
Yourself,
What do you think about Sancho? If just a quick one.
Okay, in regards to Sancho, like, okay, I'm in my bathroom now. I just finished brushing my teeth. But nevertheless, in regards to Sancho, I feel like because he's at Manchester United now, and the magnitude of Manchester United differs from any other team. So I definitely feel like he's still trying to get accustomed to his surroundings. And I know it's been quite a while, but with the numerous amount of changes of managers and etc., I just feel like we need to give him a bit of slack, because I've seen other players come in and I'm a bit more nonchalant and calm with them. I just feel like, guys, everyone knows Sancho's a good player. You never lose your class.
Yeah. Your ability as well.
You know, football players, when you see a man touch the football, you know if he's a good football player or not. I know guys in football for 5 years, but you give them the football and they can play ball. Like you and CDM, Saeed, I heard about you.
Come on, yeah, we're here, but we're acting. We're acting.
So nevertheless, brother, yeah, I just feel like Sancho, let's give him a bit of time. He's despondent because he's not in the England team right now. Let him just focus on what he needs to focus. And I guarantee, remember DF4 said it here today, Sancho will be a revelation, guys. Listen, South London, I got a big up, so I got a bias, yeah?
Yeah, that's it, man. Representing. Come on.
But he's going to do good. What I believe, though, is that when you analyze his physique, because I'm also a personal trainer, and it seems as if I feel like I can't really explain it. I won't say his diet, especially, but I feel like he's less. Not that he's made it, because I don't want to put that narrative on him, but I feel like he needs to just. I can't articulate it. Sorry, you man. I'm just.
You reckon he can get that explosiveness? You know what I mean? Is
Yeah,
that what
because,
I'm looking for?
Yes, because even when you see him at Dortmund, he's a bit more courageous. It's like he's lost his confidence. And the thing with Sancho, even when he first came, even though like he may not play good, his decision making, there's certain aspects of his game that was on point. But it's like now every aspect of his game is literally gone. Because he used to be able to pass the ball, he used to be able to dribble a little bit, but now it's like,
that's one thing I'm missing. Dribbling.
Yeah.
Like, where's that drive gone? That go-up player.
Exactly. I just feel like it's more of a confidence thing. Just let him rest up at the World Cup. Don't worry about Dubai. Dubai, you might get distracted because you know everyone's out there these days. Let him stay where he is, even if it's Canada, it's better than Dubai. And then let him get his head down. And I guarantee he's gonna be a revelation. Guarantee.
Yeah. Big 6 months though. Big 6 months for him though, innit? Until the end of the season.
And you know what? I think these 6 months, I think I'm going to determine if he's a Manchester United player or not, because at the end of the day, it's about mentality. Everybody can have you can have the best football skills in the world, but if you haven't got the mentality, if you haven't got the temperament to handle Manchester United, because even me, bro, I'm quite hard sometimes, you know. I pay for Sky Sports and BT. It's not cheap. I'm trying to see something.
Yeah. True.
Sometimes I do get thoroughly frustrated, but nevertheless, guys. My girl's in the next room. She's gonna want me to come in a minute to watch a movie. So I'm gonna get up.
Love, man. I appreciate it, man.
Keep yourself up.
Come on, man.
Thank you, bro.
It's all love, man. It's all love, man. Come on, bro. Love, man. Big up to DFK World in the building, man. Energy. Like I said, guys, if you want to get your opinion in, come on the pin and come and have your say, man. I like this guy. Gives me Chris Tucker vibe, bro. Chris Tucker, man. Chris Tucker in the building. Do you think Tellers is shit? I just thought he'd be the player that would be left back in it. Them Portal comps got me gassed. Man. I'm telling you now. Guys, please do smash a like on the video. Hit the like button, man. 234 in the chat, man. Make sure you like the video, man. It doesn't cost you a penny. Hit the like button and subscribe if you're new. Francis Beeble, Mane. I think France, they are beatable, but at the same time, we've got to be unbelievable to stop Mbappe. Unbelievable. Big up Saeed from Barbados. Big up to you. Big up to you, man. Big up to everybody who's locked in, man. Sancho could be another Dele Alli. Poof. Just imagine, man. Dele Alli, man. Dele Alli had everything at his feet, man. And then obviously, remember that interview with Jose Mourinho, you know? Jose Mourinho. Him telling him, yo, listen, you're 24 now, but later on you're going to be 54. You know what I mean? Like, you have to make sure your head is in the game. You have to make sure you're on point. You know, like I said, time flies. Look at Dele Alli now playing in Besiktas, Turkish league at the age of 26. How do you go from being one of the best talents? Listen, people were talking about this guy as one of the best young talents in the world, Dele Alli. And then all of a sudden, boom, motivation went down. His form went down. And then obviously the lack of self-belief, that went down. And then boom, before you know it, you know, you played in the Besiktas, Turkish league. I think Sancho is unbelievable, but he's still got to have that feeling that, you know what? I just wanted to let him know that you know you're a good player. Like, nobody needs to tell Sancho he's not a good player. You know you're a good player. So go and show that, innit? Go and show that. Said, I think Sancho will be interested to see how Ronaldo is gone. Look at Rashford, Bruno. Both had solid seasons before then. You know what? That's a good point as well, you know. The fact that Ronaldo is not there now. There's no pressure to pass to Ronaldo. There's no pressure to kind of, you know, the feeling around Ronaldo, like the training, the way he was training. So, and obviously, Man United we played one of our better footballs and better, you know, seasons when we did not have Ronaldo in the team. And obviously, we had Bruno Fernandes scoring goals for fun. Rashford was scoring goals. So, for me, it's massive, man. Let's bring on Tom Journalist 1. You know what I mean? The only guy I'm going to let without a camera because I know he's the main man.
How are we doing, Saeed, man?
Yeah, man, not too bad. How are you doing, Tom?
Yeah, not bad, brother. How we doing?
Yeah,
Evening live chat.
Sancho and whether this period now is going to be a big period for him. Obviously, the fact as well he's not gone on to training camp. Is that a worry for you? Because I would have thought maybe on one side, in terms of training with the team would have been better. That fluidity.
I think it comes down to the program and the plan for him, because I think for two players that we've bought, maybe even 3 if you want to include Ahmad, and maybe 4 if you want to include Palestri in that regard. I don't think a lot of the players that were bought under the Oli regime were given a plan. I don't think a lot of them were given a development plan. For example, with Palestri and Ahmad, you'd say they're more loan players. Donny van de Beek and Sancho, they're players that you need to integrate in the first team. And you need to have a plan and a project for them. And we know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wasn't the greatest coach that ever lived, and he didn't have the greatest of backroom staff and coaches that could develop players either. So ultimately, these players' hands were tied behind the back. They were with a manager who wasn't a coach, and that can come down to 2 things: either you can't productively play. We know there's a player in Donny van de Beek. We know there's a player in Jadon Sancho. We've seen it. We've seen it at Dortmund and we've seen it at Ajax. And I think with Jadon Sancho potentially going away on his own, I think it gives him his own time, his own space. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing, like he's been exiled from the squad and things like that. But he's hit a rut. He's hit, the major form that we saw like in the pre-season, for example, where he had that link with Martial and Rashford and things like that. It wasn't exactly like we've seen that come back. There's not that click, that spark there that we paid £70 million for, or nearly paid £120 million. God forbid the following summer. Yeah. But I think Ten Hag, with all these players, he's not. I don't think he's a manager that gives up on players easily. Yeah. I think he's a manager who will persist and give a player a chance, even if it's a player like Phil Jones, for example, who people think's a complete lost cause at this club. He will have a plan for every player, and some of the players were shifted out in the summer that he obviously decided weren't a part of his plans. The biggest one being Cristiano Ronaldo. That is a statement to do what he did in that regard. And then with Jadon Sancho potentially going away on his own, like you said, Said, will it hamper him not being with the squad and developing with the players? Well, a lot of the first team squad obviously is at the World Cup, which is more the players that he needs to integrate with. But I think when you go away on your own, Marcus Rashford did a similar thing, didn't he? I think it was a similar time last season, because he went away with Jesse Lingard with some of the fitness coaches to Dubai, did they not?
Yeah, Dubai.
And I think they did like warm weather training for like 2 weeks with the fitness coaches to get some fitness back. And I looked at those sort of periods and I thought, those sort of like time gaps where you can take time out away from your family, away from your friends, and out your comfort zone. Sometimes it's what you need, where you go away, you take the time, and you can just focus on your own game and try and make the small improvements and the adjustments. He needs his confidence back in terms of taking a player on. Go 1-on-1. Go and run at people.
Yeah,
because he's got the pace to get past people. He's got the pace to get at people and at players. And on his day, he's probably one of the most creative players in the world.
Yeah, true.
Because he can put a ball in the box. We've seen it with when he had the link up with Erling Haaland. I think they had probably one of the top partnerships up there with like Kane and Son and Salah and Mane and players like that who have those combinations that they have together, those partnerships. But like we say, Saeed, where's that link player at Man United? Where's that link play? Where's that missing link gone up top, man? Because all we're going for is pensioners.
This is the thing, though. This striker that we bring in January is very crucial to Sancho because he'll need someone to link up with. If we don't, and like I said, obviously we have to wait till Martial stays fit. But the fact that Ronaldo isn't hovering around anymore, he can actually play with a natural number 9 now. That's what I mean.
But I think Martial is more of the type of project player that Ten Hag likes than a Ronaldo. Because that's the only problem. I don't trust his fitness, if I'm being honest. And I know Nuruddin on his show, he blows up and, sell Martial, obviously the other, if the man can't stay fit and things like that. you can understand people's frustrations about Martial because
Yeah,
you paid 50 million so much time ago. You pay nearly 200 grand a week, and he misses majority of the season. So at the end of the day, you need somebody who's going to be in the role and in the pocket. And if you like, so many times in European football, clubs have taken advantage of Manchester United when they've been at the weakest or when they've been at the highest. They take your best players. Chelsea, for example, I think when Roman Abramovich rolled in there, he took all of the best young players from every single academy, took them to Chelsea, and then he moulded that team with Mourinho, and then they took English football completely away from Man United and Liverpool, from that dominance that those two teams had, and Arsenal, if you want to include it in that. Manchester United need to take the same model. You have two major clubs in financial difficulty, who are two of your biggest European rivals in Barcelona and Juventus. Now, Juventus have Dusan Vlahovic, who a lot of people 6 to 12 months ago were begging to come to Manchester United when he was banging them in at Fiorentina. And he's not a bad number 9, Saeed, if we're being honest. He might not be everybody's project number 9. Juventus are under investigation with UEFA. They've completely sacked the board. They're getting done on trial. Some of those board members are going on trial for fraud allegations against the football club. Financially, Saeed, you can take advantage of these clubs. If Manchester United were in this situation, they'd be doing the exact same thing to you. So at the end of the day, if you want to go in there, roll up into your in. I know John Murtough tried to do it last summer and he completely ballsed it up when he went all the way around Europe and he didn't bring half the players that he was supposed to bring. And we can't trust the board. But at the end of the day, the thing with Man United is there's just this question mark. Because do we trust this ownership to invest when they could potentially be going out in spring next, and selling to a potential new owner? Do I trust them? Not in a hoping house chance. You can't. If you haven't trusted them in 17 years, why would you trust them now? There is no reason to do it. Same thing with Ten Hag. Ten Hag, he stressed all summer about Cody Gakpo. He wanted Cody Gakpo and he wanted Anthony because Marcus Rashford wasn't having this blistering form at the start of the season. Cody Gakpo would have probably played off of the left. Martial would have played through the middle if he would have stayed fit. And he would have had Anthony on the right. That's basically a complete new attacking front three. But he only brought in Anthony. Why? Because they overpaid the price tag for him. That they could have paid cheaper in the summer if they would have listened to Ten Hag. The recruitment team did the analysis on Cody Gakpo. They possessed that he should stay at PSV and develop further throughout the season. He's now gone to the World Cup. He's probably been Netherlands' best player. That €15 million price tag's soon going to go up, Saeed. And you're going to probably be paying double the price tag of what you would have paid in the summer. Where the deals were there, the personal terms with the same agent, Ali Duran, as Frankie de Jong, as Erik ten Hag. A lot of Dutch players go through Ali Duran, who's a major Dutch football agent. So all the deals and the business dealings around Dutch football go through Ali Duran. And Ali Duran has a direct contact now with Manchester United, being Erik ten Hag's agent. So if you want to get Dutch players in through Manchester United, in the liking of Cody Gakpo, like we did, for example, with Terrell Malacia, he was on his way to Lyon. He was already, private jet was booked and everything. Completely U-turn that private jet and come to Manchester. So at the end of the day, it can be done. But the big question mark is, like you say, this ownership. And until we have the clarity over the Glazers, because I think it's clear to a lot of people, they wouldn't put a statement out about potentially selling if you weren't even considering that. These other alternatives about an investor coming in, if an investor was coming in, you would have made the announcement that you have an investor. All that's saying is that you're desperate to get money into the club or get out. And the buyout clause has been set at between 6 to 8 billion, so somebody's going to have to pay the price tag. And absolutely. We obviously don't know who that's going to be yet until the latter stages of probably spring, until people come out and openly say that they're interested in buying the football club.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Tom, I appreciate you coming on, mate. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problems.
I'll probably see you tomorrow, man. Take care.
Yeah, see you tomorrow. Take care.
See you in a bit, man. Take care. Big up to Tom for coming on, man. Guys, if you want to call in, get your call in right now. If not, send your questions in. We will answer questions from you guys. So get your questions in. They can be football related, Man United related, whatever you feel. Get your questions in. Big up to the community, as always. Big up to the community. We've got, I think, Omar Said, can you have your camera on? I don't know. What is it with people, man? What is going on? Timber, Gakpo, Depay, De Jong, Frimpong. Bloody hell. We could have a Dutch Excel at our club, man. It's mad. You know how Portugal, sorry, not Portugal, Wolves have a Portuguese Excel. You know, the whole team's full of Portugal. We could have a full team of Dutch players, man. You know what I mean? So it's mad. Paying Sancho 350k a week for his mental age at the time. That could affect his performance. Ozil Abba played horrible. Yeah. You know what? I still think that it's mad, you know. I don't really pocket watch, if I'm being honest with you. I don't really look at people and say, you know what are you getting and what you're earning? But that is mad, you know. 350 grand a week. Like, that is mad. You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing as well, because he was such a premium player. At the time, one of the best young talents in Europe, you know, if not in the world. You know, we chased it for 2 years. We had to get this over the line. Man United were willing to pay that price. They couldn't back down, man. It's as simple as that. They couldn't back down. Sancho, do you think Sancho is getting affected by criticism? I think everybody does, man. I think everybody does. I think criticism, you know, and kind of, you know, even just hate as well, man. Online, social media hate. You know, he's seeing this all, man. He's looking through it. You know what I mean? He's probably overthinking it as well. You know what I mean? So then after that, self-doubt comes in and self-doubt creeps in. So it's a lot of pressure, man. He's still young. He can still develop. But I think for me, ultimately, it comes down to him now. How do you deal with this development? How do you deal with this kind of, you know, the next stage of your career, and how you deal with this situation? What do? Do you rise up to it, or do you fold? So big up to Mr. Gunners. He's on here. Big up to the committee, man. I don't know how many likes we're on here, but I hope we can hit 200 likes before we end the stream. Maybe too much pressure for him. There's a lot of precious players that are under pressure. A lot of players. Premier League is pacey league. Don't know if Sancho can adapt. That's my big question. I prefer Garnacho and Diallo, to be honest. We got Warren. Is it Warren Pisani? Warren Pisani, what are you saying? Do you mind turning the TV off in the background?
Sorry.
All right.
How's things, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you, man?
Not bad, not bad. From Malta.
Malta, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on, man. Thanks for coming on. We're just discussing Sancho, man. What do you think about Sancho?
Sancho, at the moment, it was a shame he wasn't called up for the England squad as well. I think,
yeah,
obviously, cannot blame Southgate because of his form. But ups and downs on Sancho, to be honest, because the thing is, we give him more time, we sell him. He's a good talent, but maybe in the Premier League, he needs to be a bit more. I think, for example, Anthony showed immediately.
Yeah,
he's more up for it. Not up for it because it's not the correct word, but I think he needs to want it more.
Yeah, that's so. I think for me, a lot of people have questioned his motivation. Do you think? Do you think he has time to adapt? You know, do you think the manager is going to be working with him? Do you think he's going to be looking at him thinking, you know what, he's still one of my main guys? Or is it a case of just having to fight for your place?
That's one. And to be fair, I don't think Ten Hag will tolerate such an inconsistency in the team. Like he said on Donovan de Beek. He said himself he wouldn't loan him again. He would be sold. So
that's crazy. That's true, you know. He said basically to Donovan de Beek, yo, listen, there's no point going out on loan. This is it now for you. Like it's this or there's nothing. We haven't got no time.
To be fair, the club now needs to be more ruthless. Okay. So if Ten Hag decides that Sancho, maybe it's a bit too early to call this season, maybe I'd give him next season, just because let's be fair, these last couple of months under Ten Hag, the club was a mess. Everything's a mess. So you cannot judge everyone. We cannot judge Ten Hag fairly at the moment neither, because the issues that he had to handle, the Ronaldo stuff, clubs being sold, and what so. It's a very difficult task for him.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think for me, ultimately, it's going to be a big 6 months. But it just a kind of the last question: do you still believe in him? Do you still think he can do it?
Yes, definitely. He's still young. I think he's a good character. I don't know the guy obviously, but he looks like a decent character even on the pitch. I think at the moment, I think his form dipped. Mentally, maybe he's struggling a bit, but I still believe in him for sure. I'd give him the season. Let it play out the season. Next season, hopefully, the club is sold, new owners are in, Ten Hag would be in full command, and we have to judge from there, I believe.
Okay, fair enough. Big up to you, Warren. I appreciate you coming on.
Cheers.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Omar Saeed, have you got your camera on? No, he hasn't got his camera on. Guys, get your camera on. If you want to come on, hit the pinned comment. The pinned comment, people, for the call-in show. Why have people started? Yeah, I don't know what that means there. Guys, 139 likes, 250 of you here. Let's get to 200 likes before the end of the video. Let's get to 200 likes before the end of the video, people. Don Dada Diamond says he will come good. Eric Ten Hag save Rashford so he can get Sancho climatized and he needs to go. Yep, absolutely. Before I go, predictions for Japan. I think for me tomorrow, I think this could be a boring one. I can't lie to you. But I hope Japan win. Man. It's crazy, man. Japan or Croatia could be in the quarterfinals, man. It's mad. Good opportunity for both teams. Realist TV says Eric Ten Hag saved Rashford, my ass. The season is not over, my friend. Big up to Julia says Sancho will benefit from the time away training alone. He's a great young talent and missing out on game time at United. And ultimately, the World Cup will fire him to do some damage when he comes back. Yeah, that's a massive point there. That's a massive point you made there. Like I said, yeah, we're still going to give him time. We're still going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I think he will come good. You know what I mean? We just have to believe. We have to believe, people. First game, bit dead. Yeah, I will be doing tomorrow both watch-alongs and then Straight Jacket podcast tomorrow at 9:30. So we've got a busy day tomorrow. Straight Jacket podcast 9:30, people. So make sure you tune in for that one. Yep. Get your last few questions in before we wrap up. That's true. Rashford needs to perform now for the rest of the season. Yep. I like Rashford, but if he doesn't fix up by the season, sell him. Wow. Straight away, sell him. That's mad. But the thing is, yeah, everybody wants new toys, innit? This is how it is, man. There's no time. There's no time for people, man. You've got to produce, and then next thing you know, people want the new toy. People want João Felix. People want so many other players. So it's one of them situations, isn't it? Like, share, support. Yeah, man. Make sure you like the video, people. 9:30 at evening after the game, Portugal for Switzerland. 9:30. Hopefully that game should finish in new time. Why does Nordin hate? Bro, I don't know, man. I don't know. You tell me. Exactly. New toys. That's what it is, man. New toys, innit? New Toys FC. Tony Martial official is in the chat. Bloody hell. Official page for Tony Martial. Is that what's going on right now? Mad. But yeah, man, I'm gonna wrap it up here, people. Big up to everybody who's tuned in. I thought we'd have more callers, but maybe people are shy, man. People need to be camera savvy. I don't know. Next time, people, don't be shy. And yeah, man, like the video. I'll be back tomorrow for the watch alongs. Big up to the community, and I'll see you soon, guys. Take care.